We didn't think it was possible to shoot this movie during a pandemic in the Dominican Republic and coordinate to make that a reality, and we have.
Okay, here we go, and action!
It's been thrilling, it's been exhausting, it's been infuriating, but mostly it's been utterly joyful.
It's been a beautiful ride. There's been jungle, there's been rain, there's been mud. God, there's been so much mud.
We needed great actors as opposed to great athletes. Luckily, we got both of those things.
Racers race. Winners win too, right?
So when I first read the script, I immediately thought about my own dog, Barkley, who had passed away just a little bit over a year ago. So I absolutely wanted to share the story with the world.
This is for saving my life.
It was such an unbelievable true story. It blew my mind.
I will never forget this day.
The most incredible thing about this film is that something like this can come out of nowhere and change your entire life.
I'm not going to sit there and watch him drown, all right? He's one of us.
That's really kind of the focus of the movie and what's incredible about this story.
One of us.
Keep swimming, Arthur. We're going to come.
Let's go get him.
I love the fact that it was a thrilling adventure story that basically gets derailed by a dog.
I need you, King. You're going to lead the way.
My first impression was just like, that's what I would do. I would save Arthur too. And I instantly was just like, this is a really special story.
What's your problem?
Did that dog just...
Yeah. Hey, I told you it was a good idea to bring him along.
It is a dog movie, and this dog ends up having the same sort of qualities that these races have. This determination, this refusal to quit.
Anything can happen out there. No matter what we encounter, we accept it, we embrace it, and we keep going.
There have been a lot of dog films made. This one is more a movie about a transformation, both for the dog, but primarily for Michael Linord, played by Mark Wahlberg.
I've never even had a pet.
I had been extremely excited to see what he could bring to this role of Michael, and I think he exceeded everyone's expectations.
Just keep paddling harder. I spent a lot of time kayaked here with Michael, spent a lot of time cycling, but I think at the end of the day, it just takes a different toughness to be able to compete at that level, for that amount of distance, time, and endure that amount of pain and suffering.
You know what I learned? I learned that I could embrace pain, buckets of it.
Mark Wahlberg's a phenom. There's no surprise that he's multi-talented and a real businessman and understands his brand. Mark is an incredible leader.
That's what I do, okay? Racers race.
He brings this incredibly relaxed energy to set and into each scene.
Olivia Baker, one of the best climbers I've ever seen.
Natalie Emmanuel, the lifeblood of Fast and the Furious franchise, Game of Thrones, chose to do this role.
Old habits die hard when you're awesome.
Olivia really holds her own and is very, very beneficial to the group in many ways.
Yeah, whatever it takes, right?
There's some sticky situations the team finds themselves in.
What do we do now?
And Olivia takes control and is like, this is what we're doing.
We climb.
I think this calls for a little selfie time.
So Leo's this world-class adventure racer, of course, but he's also managing a very strong social media presence.
Yeah, the whole world's gonna see this.
In the group, he's the antagonist and needed to be strong enough to stand up to Mark Wahlberg, and he is.
It's my team, Leo, and I'm gonna give you a voice. It's gonna be a loud one.
Timu, there's something really cool about him. He was really good at playing someone who was kind of arrogant at first, but then sort of blended down into more of a human person.
Hey, I'm sorry, but it had to.
Don't be. He just seemed like he had the toughness and the grit, and I mean, he looks like a movie star.
If we're willing to take some chances, we can really put this away.
Ollie and I had worked together on Lone Survivor. He and I went through a similar, trying, physically demanding movie. I mentioned Ollie right away for the role of Chick, and I love him. You know, he's fantastic.
Your real trophies are at home, waiting for you to come back to them. Now that's a legacy, man.
It's a real story. It makes it different. Because you want to make it real as much as you can.
He must have wings we don't know about.
Yeah, that was my first guess.
The banter that he has with Mark Wahlberg in the film, the back and forth and that chemistry that the two of them have is great.
I always thought that she was the smart one.
Yeah, well, she married me, didn't she?
Oh, yeah. I forget this part.
Helena Linnord, her and I have spoken a number of times. She's quite an extraordinary woman. And so it was an interesting thing, thinking, oh, God, there's a lot of pressure. Like, I actually have to do her some real justice.
You're in a jungle somewhere, beating yourself to death for some magical finish line.
She has this wonderful kind of just support of him in a very kind of grounded way.
Make some calls, Michael. Just see who's out there.
You serious?
Yeah.
Race is race, right?
So Juliet Rylance, she's incredible. She's a classically trained, amazing actor. We needed the counterbalance to Mark and someone who was as strong as Mark, a different energy, a different way to approach things.
If you could ask him, what would he say?
What's so cool about the whole cast is each one of them brings something different to the team, to the formula.
I wanted to encourage everybody to think about how we can make these characters really well-rounded individuals that were complex and interesting because, look, if the movie has character and heart and you're really invested in these people and their journey, it elevates the material.
Would you want it any other way?
I don't know.
Working with Simon is a joy, and it's got a really wonderful quality on the floor.
Okay, I know what I'm doing.
He also understood that it's about Michael and Yukai and their relationship, and then the interaction amongst all the team members, and his ability to articulate that to all of us really sold us on him being perfect for this movie.
So yeah, so use that momentum to carry you through.
I'm not saying it's easy to film the racing, but it's exciting. It's in very dramatic locations. It's fast. It's dangerous.
I knew nothing about adventure racing. I couldn't fathom what these athletes do. And it was incredible.
Training was largely dictated by the real Michael Linnord, who was with us for the entire movie. Michael taught us how to kayak properly with the proper form. So I feel like we did everything that they would have done, albeit in a much smaller way. I wasn't, running for 300 kilometers at once.
All right, you want to start to embrace the buckets of pain?
I need a bigger bucket.
All of these things, like, just really, in a physical sense, connect to the characters and what these guys go through.
Some of the most beautiful locations I've ever seen, but a lot of bugs, a lot of heat.
We're hiking into locations, we're getting equipment up the side of a mountain on ropes and doing lots of really ambitious stuff from a production perspective. Everybody's been great and it's the real deal.
Thankfully, we got the best stunt team in the biz over here, making sure that we're all safe. Just kidding.
That's
I'm
good
gonna
acting
die.
right there. Hi, I'm Sean Graham. I'm the stunt coordinator for ATK. Sequence is when Michael comes and recruits Olivia for the race.
The climbing location today, which is absolutely stunning. We've got like a 200-300-foot cliff, crystal clear waters.
We scouted a bunch of different locations for the movie, trying to find a place that had the scale, that had the danger that Simon was looking for, but that was also doable.
Just to let you know, the camera will be sort of moving around you and doing all that stuff.
The actors did a great job. With not a ton of climbing experience, they both looked amazing.
I gotta run.
Hey, this isn't the route on the map.
I told you, it's a shortcut.
Hey, what's peligro mean?
I think the idea is that it looks a little sketchy, this place. What do we think?
All right, Olivia, you're next. You ready?
I was on a real zip line, yeah. They were like, okay, Natalie, so we're just going to hook you up and just send you out there with Jacques, who was carrying a camera. And that was like, oh, okay, cool. It was very exciting and scary.
You're out of your mind, you know that?
It's a gorgeous country. There's miles and miles of jungle and steep hills and water. It looks spectacular.
Woo!
We chose the northern part of Santo Domingo, Samaná. We were in areas where there were no hardware stores. We had to be really creative in how to create things. And in a way that was very helpful, trying to create, build, and do things with what was available made it more real.
Treasure.
Even though we're in a beautiful place, we're pushing it, we're trying to make it real. It was a wonderful experience.
These are just, such amazing human beings. I love spending time with them. And of course, I love dogs.
I hope people understand that animals are as important as people, and they can teach us a lot more than we can teach them.
We have compassion and empathy for this dog. I think you can apply that to all animals, all people, our environment, our planet, all of that. Like, are we kind? Are we doing the right thing?
We're here together.
And I think the great message of this film is don't be so busy running to get there because you may miss what's right here. Everyone working together on this film helped remind everybody life is right here. Pay attention.
Daddy has a dog?
Michael, what have you done?